Welcome back to a crystal clear mind. Hello, my beauties. How are you all doing out there? Wherever you are in the world today, thank you for being here with us all. I had such a strong urge to chat to you all about synchronicities. It's one of my favourite subjects. I absolutely love noticing these things in the world. Now, for those of you that are new to your journey, synchronicity is when you notice patterns around you. You see things like repeating numbers, you think of somebody and they call you, or you're like in desperate need of exactly £42 and you find the exact amount in your pocket. Or my absolute favourite one is hearing a song that relates to your exact current situation, almost as if someone was trying to tell you something. I love the concept of synchronicities. It's something that I've always noticed even before I kind of came onto my journey. Something that you pick up, you'll see repeating numbers everywhere, you'll see the same time, or notice things like synchronicities and number plates in front of you in the car and so on. And I've never really known what they are as such, but once I got onto my journey and started to look into things and research things, I love this concept. The whole concept of a synchronicity is that it's a message from the universe. Certain things have like certain repeating numbers have very specific messages, but generally speaking, the most common one that people see is the 111 or 1111 repeating number, which is basically the universe giving you the biggest nod that you are on the right path in whatever you're doing at that moment or whatever you were thinking. So I absolutely adore this, the concept of this, and I think that it's so relevant to everybody, because when you sort of have a conversation with somebody and you say to them about synchronicities, and you explain what it is, they sort of go, oh, I see that. I notice that all the time. So it's always a fascinating subject, I find. So the concept of synchronicity was first brought up by Carl Jung, who was a Swiss analytical psychologist. And he first coined the term and the concept of synchronicity in 1930. He says it's to describe circumstances that appear meaningfully related, yet they lack a causal connection. So it's not too dissimilar to a coincidence, which is a remarkable occurrence of events or circumstances without apparent causal connection. And what is absolutely fascinating about this is that it's considered to be an external source that causes it, hence the lack of causal connection, and that's why they say that. So what about you guys? Do you notice synchronicities and coincidences in your life? Do you sometimes notice an increase in their patterns? Well, this is basically the universe trying to talk to you. It's guiding you. It's trying to tell you something, and it's a message that is meant only for you. Now, I was brought up with the belief that there is no such thing as a coincidence, meaning that it all happens for a reason. And it was only in my later life that I found the term synchronicity, and it really just fit me like a glove. It fit me better than just the mere term of coincidence. The universe connecting with you on a deeper level, it's just fabulous. And if you're willing to open your eyes and notice, then it's very much there for you to see. Because although they're incredibly similar to each other, there is a small difference between coincidence and synchronicity. Okay, let's think of an example. So, coincidence is a little bit more fun. It's less about guidance. So, for instance, you were to pull up into a supermarket and it's got a really, really busy car park. And just as you pull into the car park, like a primo spot for parking right next to the front door of the supermarket becomes available. What a coincidence. That's exactly what you needed. A synchronicity in this example would be, let me think. So it would be you pulling into the same car park. It's busy, it's crazy. You're feeling a bit blue, you feel a bit down, and you need a sign from the universe. Finding this perfect spot next to the front door of the supermarket has just opened up for you. And as you watch the car that's leaving that spot, it's the same car that your granddad drove, and you absolutely adored your granddad. And it feels like you've got a bit of a nod or a wink from the universe, from your granddad, letting you know that everything's going to be okay. So that's kind of the difference between the coincidences and the synchronicities. It's far more personal. It feels very much like it is intended only for you. It is a message for you. I personally don't mind which one it is. I love stumbling on a coincidence. It makes me smile because to me, they don't happen for no reason. They still have a purpose too. And I absolutely adore a synchronicity because it's pure guidance, almost like a hand on your shoulder, just letting you know it's all right or that you're doing the right thing. As I said earlier, what I love about synchronicities is that you don't really have to know what they are, and you can still see them, you can still notice them. Even when you don't know what a synchronicity is, it will probably be something that you notice but don't pay too much attention to. You might point it out loud, kind of the same as it when you feel deja vu and you kind of comment on it, but no real attention has been spent on it. But once your eyes are open and you see them, you get a strong sense that the universe is speaking directly to you, trying to let you know or see something important or guide you to the left instead of going to the right, kind of thing. It makes you feel very connected. Everything is connected. If it doesn't feel random and it holds that feeling that it was meant for you, then you were meant to see it. And that means that you are noticing a synchronicity. From a spiritual point of view, it is a tangible form of divine guidance. It suggests that there is something in the cosmos that is interested or watching over our development, perhaps something that can see beyond our conscious view. And from that standpoint, the entire universe begins to feel like a beautiful mechanism that reminds us that we are all completely connected to each other and to everything. Numbers are probably the most commonly noticed one. I mean, I've mentioned it about 4 times since starting this podcast. So it tends to be the most common one that people notice, whether they're looking for it or not. Repeating numbers, which are also sometimes called angel numbers, are massive signals to you when they are noticed. So you can find them all over the place, but the most common places that you will see these repeating numbers are on car number plates, clocks, time in general, bank balances, the price of things, sometimes like on a receipt or a bill, bus numbers, house numbers, things like that. There are various meanings to all variations of angel numbers, and numerology in itself is an absolutely fascinating subject. But just to give you kind of like a really quick rundown, just in case you sort of go out into the world today and notice anything, if you see repeating ones, this is a really powerful one where the angels are sort of telling you that now is a great moment. Energy is ripe for the taking. Manifestation is optimum. Shift your patterns and move forward. When I see 111 or 4 ones, I always feel that it is a nod that whatever I am currently doing at that moment or currently thinking, so I could be thinking up an idea or thinking about doing something, if I see it then, I tend to feel that it is very much a nod that you're on the right path. If you see repeating 2s, it's all about metaphorical farming. The idea is that if you see this number repeating itself, keep planting those metaphorical seeds. So that could be work related, it could be relationship, it could be your finances, whatever it is, just keep tending to your metaphorical crop. This lets you know that the angels are kind of confirming you are headed in the right direction. If you see repeating threes, this is the number of prayers answered. It's a reminder that the universe knows what you want and that you are being supported, and to go forward with that faith. Repeating fours is a reminder from your angels that they're near and they are supporting you. This is a very comforting and reassuring number if you see it. Pay close attention to when you notice this one, if it repeats, as this is their nod of blessings towards whatever it is that you are doing. Now, repeating fives is a comforting reminder from the angels that transitions can be tense, and whatever we are going through at that moment, even if it is awful and heartbreaking, that transitions are sometimes restructuring and reconfiguring for your soul's path. You will come out the other side and the angels will help you to rebuild. So if you see repeating fives, it's a very comforting one that whatever you are going through, you will come out the other side of it. If you see repeating sixes, which obviously tends to have a negative connotation, nobody likes seeing 666. Immediately it brings negativity to your mind, but it is actually the number of beauty and balance and grounding. So it could not be further from, Satan's number. It's a steady and nurturing energy. So you may notice this when you need that energy in your life or in your home. So this number can be a call for balance in all areas. And if you see repeating sevens, this one's all about spirituality. It will most likely come to you during phases when you're focusing on your spirituality or learning more about it or using new practices and like really delving into that self-development moment. It's also the sevens are the number for being of service to the world, which also ties in to sort of spirituality and healing and helping and so on. If you see repeating eights, it's a really abundant number, probably a number that we all want to see a bit more of. It lets you know that the possibility of financial abundance is in the offing, or that you will receive abundance in love, life, or your career or your finances or so on. Always remembering abundance doesn't necessarily mean money. You can be abundant in life, you can be abundant with love, you can be abundant in confidence. It's just saying that the possibility of financial abundance is in the offing, but you will receive abundance in an area of your life. And repeating nines is a reminder that life is cyclical. The number 9 reminds us that things end or they come to a completion. So it can be a reminder that light is just around the corner as you finish a project, for example. It's a signal that you have come to the end of one phase and that it's definitely time to consider what your next phase will be. The other thing that I love about synchronicities is how many different formats that they can come in. And again, it's stuff that you probably noticed without really noticing. So, for instance, golden opportunities are a really easy one to notice. Example, you need to leave a job and you just don't know how. And then you bump into an old friend that is on the lookout for staff that just so happens to be in your exact area of expertise. Obviously, there are like thousands of examples of that, but I'm sure at some point everybody has had that golden opportunity moment in their life, that they've got their own example in their head. Those things where you just look and think, I don't know how, and then bam, there's the exact answer. The other one that I notice quite a lot, and it's almost a bit of a joke when we say that we think that songs are written about us, or, you know, it was written for me, or that means something to me. It's almost something that you hear like little teenage girls saying about songs and things, but musical messages happen a lot. I don't know of anyone that hasn't been feeling something or experiencing something, going through something, only to find that the song that they are currently listening to, or like the song that just started on the radio, is almost made for them. The lyrics are almost speaking to them about what they're going through, or giving them a message of hope for what could come next, or gives them the answers that they seek. And I absolutely love that one, because I'm such a creative person and so connected to music and song. I love that one because there's so many times in my life that I've actually heard things and felt that they were almost in that moment made for me. And it's nice to look back and think that actually it was someone trying to connect with me and let me know something. So keep your ears peeled. Don't focus on it too much, because that's not when things appear, but just keep your ears peeled. If you're going through something and something sounds like it's almost made for you, it probably in that moment does belong to you. Now, repetitive synchronicities, like seeing an advert for a book repeatedly and then talking to a friend who then recommends this book, this is kind of a hint for you to buy this book. Perhaps it's for your betterment. I'm pretty sure that we can all think of examples of repetitive synchronicities, things that don't really add up at the time, and then by the time you sort of finish the process, you kind of look and go, oh right, okay, that all makes sense now. Other moments where you can notice these little hints from the universe can also be in like things like something leaving, for instance, like you desperately need a holiday, you go into work to beg for time off, to find out that the important bookings for the same week have all now been cancelled. It's like a beautiful big hint for you to take the trip that you wanted to. And these things happen a lot if you've sort of got your wits about you and your eyes are open and you start to notice these things. These can all come at you from any and all angles. So you might notice it in your dreams, you might notice it in premonitions or daydreams, simply in your thoughts, remembering someone, and of course there are the ones that really try to beat you over the head, like wishing for a new car only to find that your current car has just had its engine blow out. Sometimes they are subtle, and sometimes they are so noticeable, it's as if they're walking around carrying a neon sign with them. So take a little bit of time, have a little think back over your life or over the last year, and I think that you'll start to notice more and more that these have already tried to get a message to you, perhaps more than you realise. One of my favourites is that no matter how positive we are, and no matter how spiritual or how hard we focus on our self-growth, on our journey, bad stuff will still happen to us. But it's not about finding the everything happens for a reason theory in the bad stuff. It's more that there is meaning in everything, and you can find the meaning in everything. The universe isn't punishing you. You haven't done anything wrong when these bad things happen. The universe's only aim is to support you. So if your partner leaves you, it could be to make space for you to meet the love of your life in the future. If your car breaks down on a day, that you just can't have that happen to you. And then you might find out later that along your route, at the usual time that you would have travelled on your route, there is a terrible pile-up accident, but you are stuck at home with your broken car. If you've lost someone close to you, and whilst you grieve, you find something that belonged to them unexpectedly, then they're letting you know that they are still with you. Perhaps you lose your job, but you find something that pays you much better. You enjoy that job more, and they treat you much better. The upshot is to know that the universe and your angels have always got your back. They see things that we just can't fathom yet. They can see the extent of our path, whilst we can only see what is happening in the here and now. But they will try to give you these tiny little hints if you fancy noticing them. And you'd be amazed at what happens when you really start to not only notice them, but also to allow them to guide you. So I urge you to keep your eyes peeled, guys. Have faith that our connection to everything and our connection to the universe, it guides us all the time with only our best interests at heart. I want to hear from you guys as to what your favourite synchronicity is, especially if you've something you've only just noticed. I would love to hear all about it. Until next time, guys, please take care of yourselves.